T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. I'm your host, Leslie Colon, joined by the amazing and beautiful Emily Mae. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm good. Thank you for that introduction.
Of course.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. We're here on a Sunday. Can you believe that?
I know, right? We're just have to cover the season finale no matter what.
Yes, we do. We are here for the season finale of Rhodes to the Top. I am so sad that this season was so short. I feel like it just left me with wanting more and more and more. We only got to see like a little bit of, Brandi and Cody and this family. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be a new season or, we'll see what happens. But there's a lot to talk about. There is one thing I want to bring up right away because this is kind of has been the topic of the last couple of weeks. The sister was nowhere to be found on the season finale.
I don't know. They got rid of her. No, just kidding.
Did you miss her, Emily?
Well, you know what? I think it was just the topics for this last episode was just, it was, pivoted, right? It was different. So I think it's fine. It was about kind of Cody and Brandi's journey right now.
Yeah, and that's what it should be about. There was no negativity.
There wasn't negativity. I wanted more liberty though. We got a lot in this episode. But if there is a season 2, I kind of want more of like that, right? Of like them being new parents and experiencing that. I feel like we got some cute moments, but
I do want to talk about that. I feel like we skipped a lot of time in this one episode. It went from like the baby was born and then 6 months later, or 2 months later, then 6 months later, and then 12 months later. So I wanted more of like even the moment of like them coming home from the hospital, their first car ride, just like these little things that we have seen in the past in other reality shows, that it's like it makes the moment even like more precious.
But I think I mean, because she had a C-section, so I feel like that's probably part of the reason is that you are not doing well after that. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe she didn't want to share that. I don't know, but there are moments of like I would love to have seen them like, I know they set up the nursery chair or they made the nursery chairs, but like I would love to like see them like have that moment, But it's also, I also don't blame them because it is also a private moment, but we want all the dish. We want all the dish.
Exactly. I know like in social media and stuff, they are very private in regards to like showing the baby's face and things like that, which makes total sense. A lot of celebrities do that.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, exactly.
For doing that.
But it's just like, I don't know, with the reality show, I feel like it kind of, we wanted that because that's what we thought we were going to see with the reality show. Like a little bit more of like that behind the scenes that we don't get on social media, you would think, but they are very private. And there were moments in this episode that I really enjoyed. Like Obviously they had the baby during COVID, and they were FaceTiming their families. And one of the interesting things was that Cody's mom had some holy water ready to bless the baby. What did you think about this whole situation?
Well, I feel like grandparents would do that. I feel like my parents would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see them do that with my nephew, but I feel like they might, right? I feel like a lot of people do go to the Holy Land and take some like sand or dirt or like some holy water or go do something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of normal. I feel like she said, I feel like more people do that than you think.
Yeah. No, yeah, but it was just funny. I think the context of it and the way like that Cody interpreted it, he was like, maybe it's for the best that right now it's through FaceTime.
Yeah. That, like, I wanted her to do it via FaceTime. That you know, I love how she had the bottle and she was like, all right, I'm gonna bless.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was also cute to see like Cody showing off Liberty and being really proud. Like, this is our daughter. This is, you know, here she is. Just that transformation already of like, I'm a dad. She's my whole world. Like, it just makes me so happy to see, because before, you know, we were talking about how nervous they were and how they were like focused mainly, both of them, on AEW, which makes sense because they have played big roles. But now it's like everything stopped and it's about the baby.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of see that shift that like Cody was already talking about last episode, and then now you really saw it where his priorities changed, and you could tell that he's like, he didn't want to go back. Like, he was spending time with Brandi and Liberty. They were having moments bonding as a family of three, and that's really important. It's a pivotal time, and it's I think the timing was like she was like 6 weeks old, right, when he went back.
I think so. So
around there, right?
Yeah, because Brandi started training a little bit after, and then he had already left, and she started training after like 6 weeks. I think he left around the same time.
Yeah, I mean that's so soon. Like, it flies by so fast, right?
I don't know. I was a little bit confused. I felt like everything was happening so fast. And shout out to everyone in the group chat. We have Haywood Wong, Joseph Boza, and then Joseph was like, they were trying to time the show with Cody winning last night to win the feud with Black. It was all confusing with all the time jumps, which makes sense. I was a little confused. I'm like, wait, hold on. We went from like the baby to now like AEW to this match to Brandi coming back. Like, for me personally, because of like how they put the episode together, I thought she had gone back into the ring to start training like a month or 2 months later. Because if she wouldn't have said, like she mentioned, I've been out for 11 months, I would have had no idea that was happening, because it just jumped so quickly. I was like, wait, hold on, let me take in this moment real quick, or let me take in this moment. So it was just, I wanted a little bit more with it being the season finale. Like, I thought it was gonna be longer. Were you surprised that it was like so short and they kind of just cut so many big moments like and put it all together?
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to find a way to summarize the series.
Yeah.
And kind of like, all right, where's a good place to stop? Because it connect like all those promos in between also that they're trying to put in there, like that, like you got to make that make sense to kind of what's going on, and they tried to do that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, the time jumps were a little confusing. So like I had to kind of think about like the previous episodes. We see her give birth, and that was months ago, and then you have to like figure out where you are in real time. So which happens, you know, because reality TV is filmed, you know, ahead of time. So I had a moment, and we're both pretty tired, right? So we're like, all right, we're like, let's watch this episode.
I'm like, hey, hold on, like I swear, you know, she just gave birth, and now we're doing this, and now we're doing that. I don't know. It was just a little awkward for me. I wanted it to be a little bit longer, because I wanted these like intimate moments that you mentioned that we're so used to having. But maybe it's just, you know, this is a new show. They probably are just
they're testing it. Yeah, they're testing it. Just like, Joseph's like, maybe they're trying to put a bow on the whole show as if this was just a 6-week miniseries. They don't know if TNT wants a second season. That's true. And I actually like, you know, I could see this being like a supplemental show in the sense like to AEW, where like you see kind of behind the scenes of what's happening. You see, you know, Cody and Brandi doing their thing. You see Tony Khan. I loved how Mark Henry was in this episode.
Yeah,
you have to see him talk a little bit about like him, because he's such a dedicated dad. He's so he's just so into everything that his kids do, and so I loved that we got to see a little glimpse of that. And it seemed like you got to also see the family dynamic behind AEW. And and I think that if they did these little, you know, half-hour kind of behind the scenes, whether it's called Rhodes to the Top or not, I think it gets people involved and it gets people talking.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was hilarious, which also I wanted like a little bit more of, I wanted to see what the process was going to be in regards to the placenta, and then Cody showing it and kind of describing like what she was going to do with it. And I wanted more of like, okay, now we're going to take it here. This is what we're going to do. And like the guys being so confused. I think it's just like made it even more hilarious that I wanted a little bit more of like that moment as well. But it was also one of my favorite moments. And I want to get to something that I see right here in the comments that I do not agree with. Haywood, you said maybe a teal spin. Whoever agrees with that, please let us know in the comments. I don't know about that. I mean, it'd be interesting. I would watch it. I'm not going to lie, because she always has something to say. So
I mean, I would watch it too. I think she should get one.
You think so?
Yeah, she should get one. She should, you know, maybe it's not an hour series, but I think, or she needs to be more a part of Rhodes to the Top, right? She has her own little 10-minute segment or something.
I mean, I would like to know why she's the way she is. You know, sometimes there's people that like because I'm like, okay, I know obviously losing a parent is a big deal. So I'm like, were you always like this? Or did, you know, your dad's passing just made you like, I don't know, just, I mean, I feel just bad for Brandi.
It's also slightly scripted reality, you know. Just saying, sorry to ruin that for everyone.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But can we talk about this? Sorry, we were going back to this placenta thing.
Yeah.
So I like this moment. I kind of wanted to see Brandi at home, like, do the whole thing, right? Yeah, like So I had family members make. You can make smoothies. You could like put the powder, like protein powder, put it in, and like it's supposed to be good, like for the vitamins. It helps kind of get your hormones and everything back on track. Good for the baby. But yeah, I don't know if I would do that, but I don't know. Would you do that, Leslie? Sorry, Haywood. I know I broke kayfabe. I'm sorry. I ruined it all for everyone.
I don't know. I mean, if it's healthy and stuff, I would probably do like the pill form, because I can't, like, I don't know if it smells, like just anything like that. I'm so sensitive to it. Like, if I can smell it and I know what it is already in my mind, I'm gonna be like, ugh.
Well, that's anyone. Like, that's going, like, if you know it's a worm, you're gonna freak out, right?
Well, yeah, that's right. But I don't know. Maybe a pill, yeah. That way I don't think about it. I'm just like, swallow it. Would you?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it was from you, so whatever.
I don't know. It's just a little weird.
All right, this is getting weird. All right.
Okay. Anyway, let's go back to the episode. Next, we see Brandi come back after 6 weeks. She like comes back. In regards to coming back, I'm talking about like her body. Like, she literally snapped back. She lost 35 pounds. And we see her also getting into the ring after 11 months. So, Emily, did you expect for her to be, you know, again, like if she didn't mention that she was out for 11 months, I would have thought she went back into the ring after those 2 months. But she looks really good for just having a baby. And then, you know, her training, like I felt for her, because I'm like, oh my God, it is really tough. When they're like, if you've been out of the ring for a while and then it's hard to come back, I see it now. This is like proof right here. But what did you think about like her comeback and her training?
I mean, it takes a lot. Like I mean, I've talked to a lot of wrestlers that are moms and, you know, had kids when they were still wrestling, and your body changes. Like, you don't know what your body's going to do when you hit a bump, you know, in the ring. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, your body just changes. Not everyone can go back to what you had before you had a baby, right? And so I want to say this, because I know we've talked about this on previous shows we've covered. I think it's really important to not take sorry, I'm trying to phrase this. I think it's important to make sure that you don't put pressure on yourself, like women out there that are having a baby, that have had babies, to look like everyone else, right? Because everyone has a different body. Everyone reacts differently. And when you see Brandi Rhodes, when you see the Bella twins, when you see anyone in the public eye, that they bounce back really quickly and they look amazing, I want you to know that they have trainers and they have chefs and they have people and time to help them.
Exactly.
So I don't want regular moms. I don't want like regular everyday people to feel the pressure of that, because it can take a mental toll and it can be really tough. So I'm just saying that just because it's a good reminder. And Becky, Becky was like, she posted pictures, I don't know, a few weeks, it seemed like a few months after, and she looked like incredible. And like, that's amazing. And it's amazing to see that. But I also want to preface that with all that. So I think with Brandi, like it shows that she's dedicated. She wants to be back in the ring, but it's going to take time, and she's going to have to start from the bottom. Like Cody said, she has to start from the bottom and work her way back up. You can't just jump back into it, because you have to be safe. You have to be safe for yourself. You have to be safe for the other people you're going to work with. It's all very important. So slow and steady wins the race.
Yes, I completely agree. And I think there was a little bit of pressure that Brandi felt just from previously, like before she had the baby, of all these comments that she would get, like, are you really going to come back to wrestle? So I'm sure that stayed with her. And she's like, yes, I have to come back. I have to snap back. She didn't really say about snapping back, but she did mention, like, I lost 35 pounds already. So yeah, I know it's like a lot of stress and then thinking about getting into the ring. So I definitely felt for her, but I'm glad that I feel like Cody and her balance each other out. So like, she's very like direct, let's go. And he's like, wait a second, like process everything, think about it. This is my point of view, let's take some time to think about this, and then like we'll decide. So it's definitely interesting to see her get into the ring again. I love the fact that, to me, I mean, I'm not a professional. Everything looked like she was handling it really well when she was training, and she should be proud of herself. But like you said, people out there who just had a baby, don't compare yourselves, because they have a lot more resources that just any normal human or person like that doesn't have their celebrity status, you can say, can probably get access to. So they obviously have a different support system where they can get those resources for it to happen faster. So it's not good to compare yourself, because then you're like, well, if this person did it, then why can't I like snap back? Because everyone's journey is different and everyone's body is different.
Totally. And like, there's also mental and hormonal changes that you go through, not just physical. So a lot of people struggle with postpartum depression. There's a lot of just hormones that are balancing back out. So, I think it's great to like, everyone should have their support system, and everyone's looks different, like Leslie said. But that's, but I'm glad that Brandi does, and Cody do have, and they did this all during a pandemic and COVID. And so for example, like I've talked before, my sister had a baby like in the peak of the pandemic, right? Where everyone could not see each other. Like, and her husband, it was at that point where he might not have been able to be in the hospital. It was so bad, and it all worked out. But I remember it was weeks, maybe almost months, that some of our family could see the baby, because we were just being super cautious. So I liked how they did address that, kind of all the family had to be on FaceTime and all that. So.
Yeah. I know. It's definitely, I love though, like seeing her come back. I do want to talk about this and I want to get your opinion. What did you think about her, like, character of her wanting to come back and being the, I'm not going to cuss, the B versus like the,
Drop it, Leslie. Drop the B word.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about. BATCH. That's her character and that's what she called it. And she was so proud of it. But Cody was like, no, start from the bottom and like be a baby face. But she's like, no, this is who I am. Did you think she was right with going with that decision, or would you have liked to see that change?
So I was talking about this when with Brandon when I was watching this episode, because I think she should listen to the fans and she should listen to Cody, because it could be a really, really emotional moment. Now she's a mom. She's had a change of heart and path. I don't know. She could have a softer side maybe. And then that could kind of build to what Cody was saying, where she could have kind of that build of like, she's struggling to get back, right? She's struggling to get back to the ring. She's struggling to make a difference at AEW, like all these things. She's trying to balance it all, right? Because I feel like we don't have that conversation enough, right? So that could be a really, really cool moment for her and good story. Because the best stories have real life implications,
of course,
and come from real life, come from real emotions, come from real moments that have happened, right? Just use all that. But also thinking about the opposite direction, she could use it as fire to feel that other side as well. Of like, I want to get back in the ring and I'll get there no matter what. And I'll kind of knock anyone down that's going to get in my way.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
Well, so choose your adventure.
Yeah. She obviously decided to do what she wanted to in the first place. So, I mean, it's good, but I would have liked to seen, like you said, when you explain it the way you just explained it, it makes me excited. Like, oh my God, yeah, I want to root for you. I want to see this different side of you now that you're like a mom, like what this motivates you. Start from the bottom and work your way up, and then kind of be in a way like, oh, I'm showing my daughter that you like have to work for everything or something like that. But you're right. That would have been a good twist to this story. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to see in the future. Maybe she'll change her mind. But I do want to talk about Cody. This was kind of like the main, you could say the main event or the main thing that they were talking about in this episode, which obviously was his like storyline with Malachi Black and him being booed. And I think like his head was just all over the place. And there's so many factors in here that we have to take into consideration, like how long he has been in the ring for, and not even that, like it can be very stressful to take on the responsibility of having to care for others for a long time, and then caring for others, but at the same time looking out for yourself, and it's overwhelming. So Emily, I want to ask you about this because you have a big heart. You always take on a lot. So could you relate to Cody, and have you ever gone to a point where you're like, am I doing the right thing? Should I change like my career path, or should I change something about my career?
Every single day. No. I mean, when big moments in your life happen, like having a kid or getting married or moving or whatever it is, maybe you're, like losing a family member, maybe. All of those things affect who you are, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the pandemic was kind of a global reevaluation of one's life, where we were experiencing everything together, right? And a lot of people like re-looked at things, right? I think it's overwhelming to take everything on. I feel like Cody takes on a lot. And I think this moment of him reevaluating everything is a real moment. Yeah. And I think lots of people have done that in their life, not just in careers, but just in life in general.
Of course.
My cats, they're running around. Sorry, they're jingle bells over there.
Oh, how cute. But I think the biggest thing was just exhaustion. Like once you're tired and you've been doing this for a long time and now you have a baby, and I'm sure you don't sleep when you have a baby. So I think it's just all these things like stacked together and just really got him to a point where he's already exhausted of everything that he does. Then
and you want to give it up.
Yeah. Then he's getting booed. And he's not used to that, and it really hurts him. So then it's like that even affects him even more. Then it's like I'm lost. I kind of don't know what I should do next. So that's another aspect of that. And then he's like, I'm still responsible for everyone in the locker room, and I still need to be like that role model. So it's just so many aspects of like his life that just got to him. So I don't want to
and you want to make sure, because he's supporting so many people, he's trying to support Brandi. He's trying to be a leader in the locker room, trying to lead a company to, he's trying to support the fans. He's trying to give the fans what they want in multiple ways, not just in the matches that he's doing, but as a whole. And he's just balancing family life. Like, it's a lot. And I think it's not fair to think that one person can take that all on. And I'm glad that they're addressing it. I'm glad they're showing that, hey, like, it's okay to take a step back and say, okay, maybe I could take a little less on. I feel like all of us need to think about that. I feel like everyone can reevaluate and say, what are the things that are most important? What are the things that are going to drive me to be a better person? And treat people with kindness. Yeah. That's what I think. So you gotta you have to, if you're doing things that are not promoting giving and kindness and all that, and it doesn't make you happy, then don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also like, just doing it for this long, like you've had
and it
this
is a long
pressure.
time too. Yeah.
You've had this pressure. So it's like, I think the like main idea here is also like it's okay to be lost. It's okay to not know what you want to do next. It's okay to not know what tomorrow may bring, or because we at the end of the day we don't know. Like we can plan for certain things, but if life doesn't want that to happen, it's not going to happen, or it might take you a different like route. So I think it was a real moment where anybody could relate to it, and I really appreciate the fact that like Tony Khan was okay with like, well, at first he got scared and was like, what do you mean you're done? For how long and when? Because of course it's his business. But it's more of like the okay, let's just leave it at, we'll see what happens and then we'll go from there. And I think that's what everyone needs to remember. Like, we'll just take today, we finished today. Now we'll see like what tomorrow may bring.
Yeah. And I think, if you look at other, not just in wrestling, but if you look at actors or sometimes just anyone that's in the public eye that has just a crazy schedule like you do, sometimes they take a break and they're like, they take a few years off and a few months off and say, all right, let's reevaluate. And then they pick and choose what they really want to do. I think it's a normal thing. I think, but I liked how we got to see a little bit of this vulnerability from Cody, because we're seeing something very different in the ring. And so it's nice. Of course. It's nice to actually see like the why these moments happened the way they did. And then, we can look ahead from there.
Also, one thing to point out, like not everything is perfect. We see maybe their life on social media or their life as wrestlers and their storylines. Everything's great. I'm a good guy. Like, I'm so happy. But then behind closed doors, like that's not necessarily the truth. So it's cool to see the reality of how they also have their days when they just are overwhelmed and they don't know what's next. But I think also this does play a factor into like his stress and like him being overwhelmed. Is like Joseph Bosa said, I wonder if Cody and Brandi were also stressed from how successful AEW had gotten during the pandemic. Yeah. They have done TV for 2 years and maybe 11 months performing in front of fans. Like, it's tiring. Everyone, us as human beings, they felt drained from the pandemic itself. I can't imagine having to like put on this performance, not knowing like how to do it or how to adjust to it. It's obvious it was obviously completely different. So I don't blame him for kind of having this moment where he's like, I don't know what's next. I'm lost and I just need some time.
We got like real deep in this conversation. We got to lighten it up, Leslie. We got real.
Everyone's probably like, what are they talking about?
I know. They're like, what? And they're like, we didn't read into what?
Right. Yeah.
We watched the wrong reality show, you guys. Whoops.
We were, I guess, Emily and I look into like everything. But
I know. Leslie and I get real deep. If you guys go and watch Total Bellas, right? On Leslie's channel, you'll see we had like deep conversations over wine.
Like, analyze everything.
We analyzed every little moment.
But let's analyze the fact that, that last match and that last moment, Brandi looked amazing. I love the fact that they show, her moment coming back into the ring and then just like being all good. And I don't know. I think it was a great way to like end this episode with her like just coming out and being like, this is me. And then this is how it's going to be. And the fans were happy to see her. And it was like a success for both of them in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also I liked how they ended this episode because they kind of left it open-ended, right? So we're really not sure what will happen. Like, how will Brandi kind of there are some new championship titles on the line at AEW, and who knows, right? So I'm throwing it out there. So it's going to be interesting. I kind of want to see, what happens.
I love this. Welcome to the Real Housewives of AEW. No, that's a good one, Haywood. I love that. That was hilarious. But
wait, Leslie and I are on that? We're going to just drink wine with the...
apparently not. Look, it says Brandi, Renee, CJ, and Penelope. I would watch that. We should pitch that idea. That's actually really good. Like a kind of like a Total Divas, but like an AEW Total Divas, and then just them showing their lives. I want to see Renee. I would love to see Renee in a reality show and their baby and their journey, as parents as well. So
I know we talked about that, right? Like who would be good in it? Didn't we talk? Oh no, we didn't talk about that. About who would be good in a reality show. So I imagine that.
But I mean, that's a great idea. We should really pitch this whole Real Housewives of AEW. Because I mean, we would watch it and you guys would be here with us.
We would watch it. All right. TNT, book it.
You heard it here first, everyone.
Make it happen.
Wrestling Talk. We pitched this idea, so you never know. But that was like it. That was it for this season finale. I mean, there was just these little big moments, and it sucks that we had to end this season so short, but we appreciate every single one of you who was here with us during this season. We do apologize, you guys, as you may know, the scheduling of this show was everywhere because of playoffs and sports, but we made it happen, Emily.
We made it happen. We talked to all the gossip. Talked to all the behind the scenes AEW.
Yeah, and I want to thank you, Emily, for always joining me to do these reality shows. There's no one else that I would want to do these shows with because we just, like you guys saw, we dive into every single little detail of the reality shows.
Yeah, we get into it, right? Most people probably would not think this much about reality shows, but we really enjoy them. We have some fun together. I didn't have my glass of wine tonight, so I know it's celebration
after this. Yes,
after.
Emily, let the people know where they can find you because they're still going to be doing things.
Yes, we'll still be doing stuff. You can follow me on all social media at Emily Mae Heller. I just finished yesterday. We had a Mission Pro Wrestling show in Conroe, Texas. So if you guys want to watch that, it was kind of the best matches ever. Go watch it on Title Match Network. It was amazing. If you want some incredible women's matches, go check it out.
We love women's wrestling. We love women's matches. That's why we're here. And then you can follow me on all social media at Leslie Colon _ like it says right here. For those of you listening, at Leslie Colon _ and please make sure to still stay tuned with Women's Wrestling Talk at WWT Talk Pod on all social media, at www.talkpod.com for our website. And you can see some pretty new content of us. We're going to be updating some pictures and things like that. So make sure you follow our channel as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate every single person who has joined us for this season of Rhodes to the Top. Haywood, Joseph Bosa, and every single person who always joins us in the chat. I know Johan was in here too. So we will see you soon. We promise it's not the last that you're going to see of us. And till the next reality show, we will see you later.
Fight presents.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling